I mean, I am at such a happy, awesome place in my life. You know, about a year and a half ago, I went through a period of depression, not knowing what was going to be next. And then
Mhm.
I feel like whenever life gives you those big questions, you come out on top of it. And now I couldn't be more excited. I've got, a new EP coming out, and I feel excited about creating music again, which is awesome.
Let's get to this. Let's get back to the start of the violent hour. So that's the big thing we're talking about right now. Do you remember the first spark, that moment where you really wanted to bring this project to life?
We had been creating music together a little bit throughout the pandemic. We were doing some quarantine covers and things like that. But when one door closed for me and I was wondering what to do next, Charlie kind of started writing these songs with me in mind, and it just kind of both of us were kind of on fire creatively, like instantly, and it was such a good feeling to be creating music that felt like me, that kind of got me out of bed in the morning to make. So it was really exciting. Do you want to talk to me?
Absolutely. I mean, if the pandemic did anything, it showed me that Carla can handle the music that I've been writing because I tested the water with her doing a Tom Petty song and then a Massive Attack song. Two things that are completely different
Yeah, opposite
vocal
ends.
style. Yeah, opposite. So when she did it, and I was like, this is great. I knew that the future, was limitless, what we could do. And then once, they parted ways, her and the Butcher Babies, I just felt a sense of she was kind of down. And I was like, look, and I hate to keep using the cliche that one door closes, another one opens, but that's exactly what happened. And I saw her rise, like the phoenix. And these songs just took shape and she started to become the song. And then it was like, well, this is going to be your new thing. And she came up with the Violent Hour, and it's her thing. I'm just here, kind of, here you go.
He's just here, but he's doing a lot. Charlie, it's been awesome. We'll wake up in the morning and have our coffee, and he'll start playing guitar and he'll start playing this amazing riff. And I'm like, who does that belong to? Can I have that for a violent hour? I love that. But it's been so awesome to watch these ideas come together in real time, in his brain while we're sitting there at night drinking some wine on the couch or in the morning with our coffee. And he's always got an acoustic guitar right there and ready for an idea. It's like he'll get his phone out and just, get the voice memos out. And I'm like, oops, something amazing is about to come out. Let me just be quiet and take it in for a second.
I tape everything.
Mhm.
Carla, this is your first release post Butcher Babies. And Charlie, you've got this cool chance to build something from the ground up outside of your usual circle. Was there any nervous energy going into it, or did it just feel more like excitement?
I had a lot of nervous energy because for a while, I felt like I didn't have my voice anymore. I felt like I can't even explain it. I just felt like my throat seized up, and I just didn't feel creative. I didn't feel nothing was coming out the way I wanted it to. And then all of a sudden, I think it's time and it's healing and it's just passion, and then writing something that you really want to say. And all of a sudden I was like, wow, those were some high notes, and I was hitting them like crazy. And it's just it like I said, I had to go through a period of grief and got through on the other side, and then it was like this moment of clarity, and I'm like, I can be whoever I want to be in this moment. I can do whatever I want to do. And I have this empty canvas in front of me, and all of a sudden I got it back.
I think confidence, especially in a musician or an artist, once you have that confidence, then man, you could just it's endless of what you can do because I always would say this, and I don't know where I read this, but when you think too much, it kills the creativity. It just kills it.
Yeah.
Just let it
Mhm.
go. Like sometimes in Anthrax, I get a little frustrated because it's like, guys, stop nitpicking the song so much. Let the song be the song it wants to be. If it wants to be 7, 8 minutes, then let it be 7 or 8 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
And that's it. And that's the philosophy.
You've both had wild, storied careers in this industry. What has it been like shifting into something this personal and collaborative together?
I've always written from the heart and soul, no matter what project, but this being just us and having like my deepest, darkest, thoughts come to life in song. It is a different experience. I'm doing it with him. There's no band to throw ideas at. So it is very intimate, and then working with each other is very intimate, and he's obviously been just this amazing musician his whole life. And so sometimes I'm like, I don't do you like this idea? Sometimes at first I'd feel a little silly, like, but he's very nurturing with me, and my ideas. And I remember at one particular moment we were in a studio in Nashville, with a writer that we love working with, Blair Daly, and the ideas were just going back and forth. And I was just like, man, this is what it's supposed to feel like. It feels good. It feels exciting. And it's just like this feeling of just pure joy writing. Like I'm writing a song for the first time. And I don't know, that changed a lot for me too, mentally.
Yeah. I mean, you could see it. And it
Hmm.
goes back to what I said about confidence. If you feel confident, especially with the material that you're creating, I mean, there's been so many times in my career, especially where we don't put ourselves first, we put the audience first. And sometimes it backfires on you. You have to do what you feel is right.
Yeah.
And whatever's coming out of you, well, then isn't that the natural uh, piece of music that should be coming out? And why would you want to write something that someone else has written already? Because there's a lot of that. If you want it, it's out there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but be original, man. Like nobody is original anymore, and they don't strive for it. They just kind of, yeah, okay, it's good, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think.
yeah. I was
Go
just
ahead, I'm sorry.
every time I get something to listen to, there's so much auto tuning on everything.
No
And
soul.
the band, I was like, oh, interesting lyrics. And they'll say, oh yeah, Chat GDP helped me. And I was like,
Oh my God.
you
I
just
would,
literally took all the artistic expression
yeah.
out of your own music.
He knows I hate ChatGPT. I am really against using ChatGPT to form any ideas. And I like to write. I've journaled since I was a kid. I've got a ton of journals in my bookshelf over there. And sometimes I'll just take one out from 1998, 1997, which is how I wrote the first song we released, Sick Ones. There was a line from 1997 that said, "Cut the sick ones loose." And whenever I'm like in the car and I think of like a lyric, I'm always writing it down. I think I'm very passionate about taking, what's inside your heart and soul and writing it. My lyrics are always very personal. This album has extremely personal lyrics on it. And even some, like the next song that we're releasing called Hell or Hollywood, I wanted to write a song that felt like I felt when I moved to Hollywood at 19 years old. The first step I took onto Sunset Boulevard, I wanted to capture that energy. And so the lyrics are very reminiscent of what it felt like to me, to move to Hollywood.
As is the music.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Like the first EP, this first 5 song EP it's modeled after the songs that Carla and the bands that Carla grew up loving. And the song Hell or Hollywood, her favorite band of all time is like Guns N' Roses. So I took that and came out with something that sounds like Aerosmith meets Guns N' Roses meets I don't know who else. But I love that song.
Yeah.
Um, we're just over a month out from the release of your debut single "Sick Ones," which you were talking about, that you mentioned you pulled the lyrics from a 97 journal.
Mhm.
The response has been amazing. How has it felt seeing fans connect with you the way they have with this new project?
It's always great, first of all, when kids write you and people write you and they say, "Oh my gosh, I needed this song today. I'm having a hard time with this or that in my life, and these lyrics spoke to me." That's like, you're doing something right when people identify with what you're saying. And when Butcher Babies split up, it was scary time for me because you don't know what's going to happen next. You hope that people will still want to hear from you, but you get in your head a lot and you're like, I don't know, and what do they want to hear? Are they just going to want to hear me doing gutturals for the rest of my life? Like what? But and even though I want to explore other things, so it's scary, but also at the same time, it's been so cool to see that, people are so excited about it. And I mean, I just can't thank the fans enough for getting behind the single and loving it as well and sharing it with people. It's been a really amazing feeling. You're biting your nails until the song is released and then it comes out and you're like, I hope people like it. And man, they do. And it's been great to see it shared so much.
You also have another Detroit legend on Sick Ones, John Five. What was it like bringing him on board for that awesome solo?
Yeah, that solo was awesome. When he played it for me the first time, I got tears in my eyes. I was like, I can't believe that solo is on my song. It's just so cool and so weird.
John's awesome, and I have a very good friendship with John, and I play on some of his songs too. And to me, John is a guitar player that um, we just talked about the song. I sent him the song, he vibed on it, and man, he just perfect. I
Yeah,
mean, I couldn't ask for anything better than what he pulled off. And it's like the part that scares me is like whoever comes in to be the guitar player for the band is going to have a lot to learn because especially that solo, it's not easy.
yeah.
That's like some Beethoven shit.
Yeah, the EP has full throttle, heavy rock energy running through it, but also these beautifully stripped back moments, especially on the namesake track, The Violent Hour. Was that contrast, that balance between intensity and space, something that you set out to create from the start, or did it naturally emerge as the songs took shape?
That song when I was writing it, I told her this is going to be the last song on the EP, and this will be the last song that you guys close the set with because it's just so strong and powerful, and I think it embodies the whole thing behind this Violent Hour. That song for me is like one of the best pieces of music that I had ever written, uh, be it Anthrax or anything. When I was coming up with that, it just felt right and it just wrote itself and it took a life on of its own.
Yeah, I mean, even when I was singing it, it took a different life than I thought it would. Like when I was singing the chorus, it wasn't
Right.
intentional the way that I was singing the chorus. And in fact, when I was in the studio, I was nervous. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to approach this necessarily yet. And then I just went for it, and it was like that was it. And I fell in love with it. The song has is such intense moments in it, and it's definitely one of the most personal songs that I've ever been a part of, I think.
It to me, it's there's a police song that everyone knows and it's called Every Breath You Take. And the music in that, I kind of was thinking about it with this song and it just came out. Like I said, it's one of my favorite songs on the EP.
Do you see this evolving to like a full band with additional members down the line? Is it a full-length album already in your minds?
So we're going to release another EP after this first one that is a little bit heavier, that has some really special stuff on it, but also kind of there's one song that's not heavy at all and it's unlike anything else I've ever done. So I'm just really excited to release more and more music. I feel like some of these songs I've been sitting on for, a year and a half, and I'm just so excited to get them out. And then we're on the search for a band. Charlie obviously is a little bit busy with Anthrax and Pantera. He will not be behind the drum kit. My vision is to have an all-girl band. I've always wanted to do that since I was a kid in the 90s listening to the Riot Girl I mean, I'm wearing a Babes in Toyland shirt right now.
Yes,
Um,
I love it.
so I've always been obsessed with that, and I want to find the perfect all-girl band. So I am on the hunt.
It's got to be five badasses. Like that's how I see it too. Who could play, run circles around everybody else in the business, just
Yeah.
fucking plow through them, and it's got to be intense. And like Carla said, this first EP is more kind of rock type of songs, a little bit of metal here, but the next one is probably going to go a little heavier and a little bit different. Um, that's I'm looking forward to that.
Now, Charlie, you've got a packed summer ahead with some dates with Metallica, time set aside for the Black Sabbath Ozzy final show. How are you feeling about the schedule and what's your mindset going into a season like this? Because this is a lot.
Yeah, but it's summer, and I look at it as I'm out there with my friends, and we're having a good time, and we're playing some kick-ass music, and we're bringing Pantera music back to people who either never heard it, missed it so much. Um, so for me, it's a joy. I enjoy this. And then after the Pantera thing kind of slows down, Anthrax picks up and we release a new record, which is shaping up really nice. I'm working on the cover art right now. That's crazy. I love it. I think the fans are gonna like love it because there's so many little Easter eggs on it that
Yes.
they're gonna pick things out, and then we'll have a little contest. Like, did you find everything on the album cover? So I'm enjoying that. This is the part that I really like when it's almost finished and I get to work on the cover and the packaging. And
Mhm.
that's my favorite time. And like doing the Violent Hour packaging too. It's awesome.
So between your schedules and all your projects, and Carla, you still juggling your own projects while holding down a 9 to 5. How
Yeah.
have you two managed to carve out time to build something like this together?
Well, to be honest with you, people think that I work like a lot, and I do have a 9 to 5 job. But when I'm done with my 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, I'm working all night on music and art. That's what I love to do. Rather than go out and party every day or go to the movies or whatever. We sit at home and we create, which is I love doing that. And so it hasn't really been hard for me to balance. I'm still going to do my 9 to 5 job when I go on the road with Lords of Acid. If I don't have to go on stage till 10 o'clock at night, I'm going to be working during the day. I think that when you're passionate about something, you just do it. And I love being busy. It's just who I am. And then as soon as I get off the road, then I'm going to shoot over to London with him and see his shows. Yeah,
Birmingham.
Birmingham.
Carla, you do something incredibly meaningful outside of your music as well as a grief counselor,
Mhm.
helping people through some of their most difficult moments. What has that transition been like, moving between that world and your music?
Well, I was a mortician years ago before Butcher Babies took off. I loved doing that, but it's not the kind of job that you can say, "Hey, I'm going to go on tour for 8 weeks, so I'll see you later." So I had to quit that, and I went back, got more education, became a grief counselor, and I could do that via Zoom and do it. All over the world. I've been able to
Mhm.
help people all over the world who are terminally ill, veterans, disenfranchised kids. So it's been a real gift. And now I work with a company that makes cremated remains into stones that people can hold as part of their grieving process. So it's really beautiful. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm really passionate about changing death care and just helping people with continuing bonds rather than just letting go. So it's something that's very important to me, and I will continue to do.
You've both done so much in music already. Does the Violent Hour feel like a new beginning or just a different kind of continuation?
For me, it's definitely a new beginning, 100%. And it's, again, I keep saying it, but the excitement that I feel surrounding it and just the passion that I feel, is something that I haven't felt in a long time. So it's, it, it feels brand new. I feel like I'm waking up again and I'm obsessed with that feeling. I don't want it to end.
It is. It is a new beginning for her. Uh, and for me, it's like, wow, these songs, some songs don't fit the other format of the other bands, you know, and it fits perfectly with this, especially with her voice. And like, that's the one thing about it. Like with Joey, I hear Joey's voice, and the music I create is for Joey. Uh, the music for this is for her. And it just works out that way. I don't know how it does, but it just does. And I don't question it. I just hope it just keeps coming.
And for me too, I love that people can really see. I mean, he plays every single instrument on my EP. He'll play it on the next EP. He's incredible. And, most people know that he plays guitar as well, but I want the world to know like how incredible he is. He plays every single instrument and he's more than just a metal drummer. He's a prolific writer. And like I said,
An artist.
yeah, and I want everyone to see how amazing he is.
Well, Carla, you look really happy. I mean, really, really happy. I mean, you look happy too, Charlie. I mean, you look happy too. But you've got to admit, your girl, look at that smile.
That's
It's
what
like
that's
she's
what
sitting next to me. Of course she's happy.
no, but that's the thing about this. I saw a change in her. Um, and then she got really excited again, and it just lifted her up. And that was the best thing, because that's what music should do. It should lift us all up. And don't take it for granted. A lot of people take music for granted. It's
Absolutely.
and that's why music is horrible nowadays, because people take it for granted.
Yes.
I'm not kidding. Why do
No,
people why do people continuously go back to listening to the older stuff? Because
I
it was good.
understand. I do. I mean, I'm an in-house photographer here in Detroit. So I shoot hundreds of shows a year. And a lot of times I'm just like, when's my 10 minutes done? Because I'm just
It's the
there's
same shit.
it is. It's the same thing. And I do go back to, a lot of the music that I grew up on. I'm in my 40s and it's mostly what I go back to, not everything, but a lot of it. So, people like me, we appreciate, that you're hands-on with all aspects of it. Like Carla said, you're playing all the instruments. She's writing the music. You're doing this collaboratively. No chat GDP, no, none of that. So that's something special in this industry. It's really special. And it's great that you guys are, able to, do this in your personal life as well together.
Uh,
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, I think it's important for music fans. In Europe, they do it. In England, they do it. They still buy the actual physical piece of music. Over here, it's a little different. Vinyl has saved that,
Hmm.
but there's nothing better than like I just got something today, a Van Halen vinyl, and there's nothing better than opening it up and smelling it and just getting completely immerse yourself in that. I just miss those days, and I think if people had that experience again, they would enjoy it way more.
Well, I'm raising my daughter on vinyl, so she's 11 and has her own vinyl collection.
Love it.
Well, thank you both so much for taking the time to speak with me. The EP is absolutely incredible, and I'm really excited for everyone to hear it. Any final words you want to share with the fans who've already been supporting this new chapter from day one?
I just want to say thank you. I'm, eternally grateful.
Just I'm so happy that they are listening to her again, and she has a different message and a different voice this time, and I'm glad they're giving her a chance to grow. And I think she's one of the best artists because she listens to people and she respects her fans. That's very important. She doesn't just, okay, this is it, put this out. No, 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 no. She's very, very thorough.